Welcome back to Sonic Generations. It's time to go for what's generally considered the worst stage in this game, unfortunately.
It's such a
Unless
weird...
you're Lewis.
Well, I said I kind of like Planet Wisp Classic, but more in the sense that, like, I like the idea of the level. It feels like they didn't test it well enough. But, you know.
This had to have been the level that had, like, they probably developed last. And I don't just mean because it's the last stage, like, in the game, but also because Colors was likely still in development when they got to this part.
Yeah, because Colors came out 2010, right? Or 20? Yeah, and this came out 2011, and they had to have waited at least a little bit to find out what levels people liked from Colors before they started. So, like, they might have guessed that people liked Planet Wisp, but I would have assumed they didn't finalize.
Well, Planet Wisp has the most, like, I think on a foundation, Planet Wisp has the most significance because it is the home planet of the Wisp creatures, who are a prominent character in Colors.
Counterpoint: it's a really bad choice for a lost level.
It is, yes.
Yeah, I would agree. It's a bad choice for a last level. The fuck.
I mean, it's a weird choice for a final level. Yes, it's an extremely weird choice for a final level. I would have personally swapped Planet Wisp with Crisis City, honestly.
Yeah, but they had committed to doing them in chronological order. So
what even is chronological order when there's a level that takes place in the apocalyptic?
Time's all fucky wucky. There is no chronology.
No, but like the Crisis City takes place in the chronological future.
So
it would have been interesting if they did like a time eater, like a unique level, like some kind of time void kind of level or something.
Yeah, you know, it would be really embarrassing if another game did the whole anniversary greatest hits level collection concept and did exactly that shortly after Generations.
What game are we referring to?
I don't know what you're referencing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sonic Lost Mode?
Titanic Monarch in Sonic Mania.
Oh,
shortly
right.
after Generations. That was in 2017.
Yeah, the game that came out 6 years
It was close
later.
enough. It was close. Okay.
Close enough. That's 6 years.
I crossed some wires. I remember people complaining about Mania reusing the anniversary thing. It wasn't just Generations they were complaining about, though. It was the fact that we'd gotten Generations and Sonic 4 and Sonic Mania. Okay, yeah. So it wasn't.
It was both Sonic 4s too. Is also the thing, because there was Sonic 4 Episode 1, Sonic 4 Episode 2.
Well, yeah, but Sonic 4 Episode 2 doesn't really count toward the greatest hits collection level theme. I mean, it's level. I mean, it did have not Aquatic Ruin and not Wing Fortress, but it also had Winter Wonderland and Oil Desert. And
I mean, Oil Desert is just two Sonic zones smashed together in a blender, so I don't know how much.
Well, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how that comes out, because the oil part and the desert part don't resemble any specific.
Lewis, when two zones really love each other, they hug in a special way, and then a new level is formed.
No, what I'm saying is that in Sonic 4 Episode 2, the Oil Desert level doesn't really have any visual components from any previous desert or oil level. It's just sort of an oil desert. You know.
We've all seen those.
It's more Sandopolis with an oil refinery in the background than it is like Oil Ocean.
I mean, ish. I mean, it doesn't really have the Egyptian ruins that one has.
It has sand.
Yeah, but that's every desert.
It's an oil refinery. That's it. It's an oil refinery. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's
literally Oil Ocean's really starting to look like Sand Oil Ocean now.
You know, the first level of Sonic Advance, that beach, that was totally a Sandopolis clone. Because it had sand at the beginning of the level.
What are you, fucking stupid? No, it wasn't.
It had sand at the beginning of the level. It's Sandopolis.
No, Lewis, the first level, Neo Green Hill Zone is clearly an Emerald Hill Zone clone. Jesus Christ.
Green Hill, more like Sand Hill right now.
I can't fucking believe Sonic Advance is such a Sonic ripoff.
Yeah, that's another thing. The Green Hill Zone. in Sonic Forces wasn't a Green Hill Zone clone at all. It was a Sandopolis clone.
Comment. Imagine if it went like Green Hill started to look a lot more like Neo Green Hill Zone now.
What even is Neo Green Hill Zone?
Neo Green Hill Zone is the first level in Advanced.
No, yeah, I know that, but like, what is it in the context of the world? Is it actually called Neo Green Hill?
Yeah, you know, like how there's
Probably.
Jersey and New Jersey, or York and New York.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
My favorite thing is in Sonic 2 for Game Gear, there's a stage called Green Hills. It's Green Hills Zone.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But no one ever talks about Neo Green Hills. That's stupid.
Look, it was directed by Kojima and got canceled.
Yeah,
before it
you know
came
that's
out.
you know that's freaking hilarious. Is that everyone thinks erroneously that the Sonic movie was referencing Sonic 1 with the town name, but they were actually accidentally referencing the fucking Game Gear level with a very similar name.
Which was also set in Montana, fun fact.
No, that was Nebraska. I wish the Sonic movies were set in Colorado and we could just have, like, instead of going out on adventures, it's just a 12-year-old kid who gets really high and he imagines he's a talking blue alien hedgehog. And that's why Paramount won't let me back on their lot anymore. That's all I propose as movies. What if we do a Transformers movie, but it's just a 12-year-old who gets high a lot? Get the fuck out of my office. Yes, sir. We're back tomorrow.
Isn't that just Bumblebee?
You know what's great? How both of the acts of Planet Wisp restrict themselves to exactly one fucking wisp, when there was a whole selection of wisps they could have built level design on.
It also really fucking sucks at the fact that Modern spends most of its level in 2D as well. That's great. That's what I want on my Sonic Generations 3D level. Is all 2. What is this, Sonic Colors? Get it? Get it?
Or Generations 3DS.
They had to make sure that players understood how much better the 2D physics in classic Sonic's levels were somehow, okay?
Except
forcing
for
us to
spy
spend
control so badly,
time.
though.
I'm being a smartass.
You never, Lewis. Perish the thought.
Forcing us to spend time in the shitty modern Sonic 2D mode for an entire level was obviously the only way they could achieve that, is what I'm saying. Now,
I forgot just how long this level was, though, because, like, Ryan, I mean, obviously, from the footage, like, Ryan hasn't played this stage in a while, but he's not really making that many mistakes here, and this level's still, like, 8 minutes long.
Yeah, talk about a Sandopolis
I think we just finished it.
Christ alive.
Nah, this isn't Sandopolis. If it was Sandopolis, you would have timed out at least once.
There's also no
Planet
sand.
Wisp starting to look more like Planet Sandopolis right now. Yeah, get a bush.
This is some green sand, but it is sand.
What's happening to this conversation?
It's everywhere. Get used to it.
I make a remark about Sandopolis because of Oil Desert having sand. Lewis says, and I took great offense to this.
Johnny, based on your thing, Lewis is like, I hate Sandopolis. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. This section's great. This opening of Modern Planet Wisp, great fucking open, because we never got to see too much of this in colors directly, like the greenery of Planet Wisp. This is a great moment. The second we get to Eggman's factory, shit goes south real quick.
So,
yeah.
The thing, and this is what I realized what makes this such a bad choice for the final level. I think they wanted to lean into it being the final level and make it, like, more challenging, which is why we see so much of the factory and why most of both levels take place in the factory. But Planet Wisp was a mid-game zone in Sonic Colors, so you got a fairly decent amount of mix of both. And the factory sections also, like, it felt like they were still in process of building shit there. So you saw more of a mix in the same sort of areas of, oh, here's some factory stuff on top of the natural planet. And in this stage, it's like, okay, you get this 1 minute on the greenery of the planet, and then you go straight to the factory, and then it's just orange for the rest of the level, and it gets very monotonous.
Pretty much, because I mean, in context of colors, when you get to Planet Wisp, there's a cutscene that states it is still under construction. So yeah, like, Eggman hasn't finished. So yeah, I think that would have I mean, again, from a Planet Wisp is very important to like the core of Sonic Colors. It's got great plot significance. It's a pretty fun level, but again, it's such a bad choice for a final level in a game. It is so bad.
If it had to be from Colors, I would have gone with Asteroid Coaster.
Fuck yeah, man! That was awesome. Or possibly you could have done Terminal Velocity and just made it insane, like that game was. But yeah, like I would have even taken Starlight Carnival, something in space with a lot of like darkness as a backdrop. It's too fucking happy for a final level. This is like if everyone in Scrap Brain Zone was on shrooms. I don't care for this as a final level, you know.
I don't buy it thematically. Where'd they get the drugs from?
Did they fucking make it? Are you fucking stupid? Like I show you a diagram? What do you think they're harvesting? What do you think that purple water is? Man, something back about that purple water makes me get really high.
Really hope someone got fired for that.
I mean, so it's been 13 years since this game came out. Overall, I think they pretty much did pick just about the perfect levels they could to represent each individual game. The only problem is just that, you know, when you're thinking about what's the best level to represent each individual game, they didn't think about how well those make everything mesh together, you know? And they didn't stop at...
Yeah, I mean, but that's where the critique of like 4 city levels came from. It's like, yeah, these are everyone's favorite stages, but like when you combine them all together for the sake of the product, it does kind of run similar.
For me, I still like. It looks nice, but I still think Seaside Hill was the most redundant level.
I mean, yeah, but I think Forces...
Come on, Egg Fleet. Could you imagine if we got fucking Egg Fleet in this game? It's Egg Fleet, but it doesn't make you want to kill yourself. Yes, please.
I would have done Metropolis Zone for... Is that what it's called? The second level.
Yeah,
Grand Metropolis.
Another city level. God.
But that's the thing, though.
That's what I was kind of thinking, too.
But that's the thing, though. Like, if you were the one who was like, okay, you got to pick a level from each Sonic game to represent that level. If you didn't pick City Escape, people would riot at you, right? But it's just like, okay, but for the pacing of this overall, you know, we already have a bunch of city levels coming up. It would be much better for the game as a package if we did like Rail Canyon instead. But it's like, no, people aren't going to say, oh man, I remember Rail Canyon from Sonic Adventure 2. That level's actually good, by the way. I would love Rail Canyon in Sonic Generations. But it's like, you have to pick City Escape.
I would if Rail Canyon was in Sonic Adventure 2. Rail Canyon, I think you'll find my dear boy is from Sonic Heroes. You lose, Ted. You stole fizzy lifting drink.
Man, how dare I confuse the names of Sky Rail and Rail Canyon? Man, what a fake Sonic fan I actually am.
You are the biggest SA2 stand in this script, though, Ted. So I would expect you to get that correct.
Am I? No, Clement really likes Sonic Adventure 2.
Clement likes Lost World. Who gives a fuck what he thinks?
Hey.
See, I love that you said that and sound mildly offended, but not like, yeah, you know, you kind of gave me a, yeah, he's right kind of vibe.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
Oh god, this level's still going.
I know, Jesus Christ.
The problem is that I think like foundationally speaking, it tries to combine all 6 acts of Planet Wisp from Colors like into one hodgepodge, and it's like, fuck, this level's repetitive as shit.
Well, I like the idea of a Planet Wisp act. Just note, act, where you climb the tower.
That wasn't in Sonic Colors, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like Act 3 or 4.
Yeah, the thing is, it like conceptually, it feels like a follow-up to a much more like diverse stage.
God damn it, Ryan! God,
it feels like the Act 3 of a Metropolis Zone, you know.
You've got one job, don't fall down, and you fucking failed.
Which doesn't make sense unless you've got an Act 2 and an Act 1.
So here's the thing about that comment, Gareth, is that normally in a game like this, it's good level design where, oh, if you fall down, instead of an instant death plane, oh, you just have to redo some of the level that you've done before. That's good level design.
Not
but
here.
Here's the thing, this level's bad,
yes.
So you'd rather just die and be sent to another checkpoint.
But if Ryan died here, we'd be sent further back in the game.
Ryan's getting impatient. He's trying to skip ahead.
The game said, no, screw you. You're going the right way. Like we designed.
Which is ironic, because Sonic's going left.
Oh, hi, buddy.
I don't know what to do. He's going to explode on me and knock me down. Yeah.
Ryan. No.
Sonic's just like I could move, but this robot's ass shaking is strangely hypnotic. It's like a lava lamp.
Actually, thinking about that was a pretty precarious situation because modern Sonic doesn't immediately enter ball form when he jumps. There's like a short gap where
he could have still jumped and veered right and hit the pulley just fine.
Yeah, it's just like, that's the kind of situation that's going to make you nervous. Like...
Checkpoint.
Yeah. Think about it.
Modern Sonic has this weird jumping arc where he's unrolled when he's close to the ground. And it
depends on how hard you push the jump
it's
button.
supposed to enable you to do that short hop that was useful in Unleashed and nowhere else.
Yeah, they try to get some mileage out of it in Generations to lesser
I always
effect.
hated the fact that if you jump mildly, you won't trip on a little bit of rock. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Who put that rock there the first
You know
time?
what? Yuji Naka, fuck you.
He wasn't even involved in the
Fuck
game.
you.
I like the idea that you can do a very precise short hop to avoid losing any speed, because Sonic always does lose speed when he jumps. But it's just like there's like 3 places in Sonic Unleashed that actually use it. And
I'm just gonna say it was very nice of Eggman to have all of these little like bits of metal that can only be broken by the rocket wisp, because none of the other metal does. So thank Christ he did that. Otherwise, we'd have been shafted, boys. We wouldn't have made it out of the first fucking level of this thing.
Quick question: does Sonic control any different in this? Like, did they change the controls?
All of that, which is that is one of my slight issues. There are, again, when this game came out, this is still an amazing game. Again, I wish there were some. I ran into an issue where Sonic, like when I would boost and run, sometimes even if I was like facing left and if I was holding left and Sonic was facing left, if I tried to like jump or boost, he'd go the other way. That happened to me several times when I streamed this day one, and some people in the comments were like, it might be because this has gone from a 30 FPS to a 60 FPS, but I don't recall that ever happening with the PC version. There are just slight issues that I wish they would have gone through. This is the only change I like. Again, when Sonic's just like, shut the fuck up, you annoying little shit. That is the G-rated version of I would fucking murder you if Vector wasn't right there. God, I want to fucking kill you, Charlie. You fucking piece of shit.
Christ, guy, I think you're the one that gave Charmy brain damage.
Ethan was that guy.
Did they make him like even stupider in Charm?
No. So
you don't know the story of this, huh?
Because of the character development, the Archie Sonic wasn't able to like flex loose with at the time. Charmy was actually way more developed in the comics than he ever was in the game, but as a means of getting things back to the game canonicity or making it consistent with the games, they literally gave him brain damage so he regresses back to a child.
But like Charmy is canonically like 9, isn't he?
6. So no, but originally, if you go by the ages from Knuckles Chaotix, he's 16. So in the comic books, both in Archie and in Sonic the Comic in England, they were all written as teenagers. To be roughly the same age as Sonic and shit. But again, when Heroes came out, and again, for whatever reason, they made him into a child. Yeah, Sega were like, yeah, he's a child now, so we don't care how you do it, just make him a child. And Ian Flynn's like, all right, what's the funniest way I can do this?
I don't know if it was Ian Flynn,
Johnny, he was writer.
Was he right around that time?
He was right around that time. So it's like, yeah, how about we just bonk him on the head real badly and he'll act like a 6. I've seen the Flintstones. That science checks out.
That's kind of dark, actually.
It is,
I don't
yes.
care
It
how
is.
you fucking regrets this, kid. Just yabba dabba do it.
The last bit of gameplay before our final boss rush is playing musical note tennis with Vector the Crocodile.
This mission sucks even today.
I'm surprised you picked this mission.
I wanted to talk about it a little bit.
He's picked every mission with the friends this entire game.
Too bad, Ryan, you can't talk about it. We're talking about brain damage, Charmy B. Wait your turn. Oh, you
I
won,
like
never
how, just to fucking fake you out, the last one doesn't even...
Goes backwards, like, oh shit, that hedgehog means business.
The camera also, like, I'm glad to see that the Sonic games still can't have a functional camera to save their life.
I still hate those musical notes.
Yeah, there are so many things that, like...
They're a lot worse than Shadow,
Oh my
if you ask
god,
me.
the 3D,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's like there's so many small things I wish they I would have been completely fine if they redesigned white space, because especially in this era it's so obnoxious to find what you're looking for. Like in the classic era, everything's just you jump up from Green Hill and you're there. To get to like the shit in Rooftop Run, you have to climb up like Crisis City and use springs to get over. I'm like, that's so bad. I don't like it. I don't care for it. Please send me a review copy of the next game, Sega.
I still like how one of the worst bosses in Sonic 06 became one of the best bosses in this game.
Yeah, Mephiles. I mean, yeah.
So
Has anybody here played the
twice.
game Control?
No,
Yeah,
I know of
actually-
it, but
I actually recorded the impressions video that we did for that.
I didn't know we even did. Okay, so Control's a great game. Imagine Silver the Hedgehog. Okay, but hear me out. It's a Metroidvania, and it's actually really, really good. That's Control.
Yeah, that-
You
right.
lied.
That
Those
does-
things don't exist. That's an oxymoron. How dare you?
It's like no, it's like legitimately one of the best games in the Metroidvania kind of. It's a 3D game, but it is a Metroidvania. But you have Silver the Hedgehog powers, and and a gun.
Oh,
and it's really good.
So he's Silver and Shadow in one. Awesome.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, she is.
You know one thing, and I don't like being this guy, but I don't really like Silver's new voice in this game. I'm not sure.
Thankfully, he doesn't really talk all that much, so.
No,
Well,
but
I mean, I didn't like Silver's old voice originally, so...
well,
Has
which
Silver
one?
ever had a good voice? Like,
What's
ever?
the thing? I didn't mind. I think with Pete Capella, like most people in that game, I think that was voice direction, because we've heard Jason Griffith, Mike Pollock be really good in other things. So I'm willing to put 06 down
Yeah.
to voice direction. I genuinely really liked Quentin Flynn in this and Forces, because Forces is like the only game with like, you know, with the cutscene with like Silver's taken on Infinite. I think he's really good in here. For me, it's like they, and I forget his name, and it could be just like David Mitchell, current Knuckles. I didn't really care for him in Team Sonic Racing, but loved him in Frontiers and the Frontier Shore. So it could just be, he could grow on me with time, but I just think Quentin Flynn was just so much better for me. And
if it's the same actor as Team Sonic Racing, I think it's Bryce Papenbrook.
yeah, Brackenberg,
yeah, it's Bryce
Which
Papenbrook. Yeah,
it's
same
It's
voice.
a shame, man, because it's again like maybe if Silver gets a bigger part in the next game, I might warm up to him. But currently, I don't really care for this Silver voice.
I don't remember Katamari Damacy being this brown.
Well, the ball is always reflective of your surroundings, so it makes perfect sense. That
I like that death animation. I wouldn't say no to Silver getting a bigger role in the next game because, Ian Flynn was basically the only person doing anything worth a damn with Silver the Hedgehog for a while there. So,
what the hell? Wait, I'm just realizing that the Japanese voice for Silver is Daisuke Ono.
what?
That's Jotaro from JoJo.
Is that a motherfucking JoJo reference, Johnny? I'm saying give it
I did not
give
know
it
that was
13
Daisuke
years.
Ono.
We'll have Sonic X Silver Generations, where with a remake of Forces, you usually play as Silver.
I mean, so coming just as someone who's only really played the games and not read a lot of the comics and whatnot, the problem with Silver is just that his personality, like, regardless of Sonic 06 having a bad story, Silver just isn't a likable character. because he's just like I get that his timeline sucks and he's miserable and wants a way out, but unfortunately, what we view as the player is just that this kid is whiny and obnoxious, and he's being mean to Sonic for something that he clearly didn't do, and he comes.
Look, we know he's being. Well, here's the thing: that we, as the audience, the player, know that he's being duped, but you can't get angry at the character for just not knowing from
when
the
he got
get-go.
duped by Mephiles,
Ted.
the most evil man on the planet.
Ted,
Like,
I mean, his character arc is not that dissimilar to Sonic and Sonic and the Black Knight. They're both like, if you kill this one person, everything will be fixed. They're like, fucking A, boys, let's go.
yes, but at the
Say
very
less.
least, Merlina is more believable because she's a cute anime girl, and plenty
Accurate.
of people would destroy the world for a cute anime girl. Like, the entire Sonic fan base would, so that's
Accurate.
not that unbelievable.
I played this level earlier today, and I want to say this perfectly encapsulates 06. This level is so fucking janky. I died so many times. Literally, one point I jumped I jumped up to like a spring, and the game flung me off the edge, and I was like, "Excuse me, what the fuck?"